Hey guys, this is Kat. I wanted to make a video today about group practice and group work and my experience with it. First off, I wanted to show you, this is a candle I have that I created for the student group that I'm in for Wicca, and our group is called 2 Moons Rising. And when I created these candles and the ritual that went with them that I gave out to everyone with the name of our group on it, it's supposed to have the magical purpose of allowing us to tap into the energy of the group even from home when we're not all meeting up together. And I also like to have the candles just as a symbol of how important being part of this group and a group is for me in my magical practice. Now, there was a time when I first began studying Wicca where I was not part of any particular group, and I was solitary. I looked things up online, I read lots of books, I did my own rituals in my own bedroom, and everything was just done by me and for me. And then I guess eventually I started to feel like I wanted to connect with other people, see how they practiced, make friends who are like-minded, and so I reached out online and started looking up to see if there were any public Wiccan or pagan groups in my city, and I found out that there were. And one day I just worked up enough courage to go by myself to a public ritual and to talk to people and meet people, and I'm still part of this group today. And through that larger public group, I met people who are the members of the private group that I was talking about earlier in this video, where a few of us are students and we're working with more experienced people who are priests and are teaching us how to become priests and priestesses in our own tradition. So we meet every couple of weeks. When we get together, we take turns being the priest or the priestess and writing a ritual, and we learn how to perform and create rituals that are beneficial both to ourselves and to other people at the same time. And it's really nice to be able to use my creative talents and to build my creative skills and give something to other people. That's one of the things I love about group work. I've noticed that people sometimes talk about how when you first come to a new path, like, Wicca or witchcraft, where there's so much to learn about, there's such a big learning curve, there's so much to explore and to try and to do and to develop within yourself, that after the first couple of years of intense study and a lot of reading and just trial and error with, developing your magic and learning about the deities that you've first come to discover and things like that, you kind of get to a point where you go through a bit of a spiritual dry spell. You might feel like you've read all the books that you know that there are to read, or you might feel like you've already decided whether you like to add certain things or not to your practice, and you might go through like writer's block when you're trying to think of rituals or spells or just things to write in your spiritual journal. And I find that being part of a group really helps to avoid that, because you never get tunnel vision. Like, you're exposed to other people and what they're learning and what their skills are and what they're doing, and when you go to someone else's ritual, they're going to do things differently from you, and you're going to learn from that other perspective, and they're going to call different deities and invoke different energies, and you're going to be exposed to things that maybe you hadn't thought of yet, or that maybe you had tried yourself and it didn't really work, but then you see how someone else makes it work. So that gives you another way in which you can practice it. So for me, it's really great to be part of a group, because there's just so much that the group energy and the group learning can feed into my individual practice at home. And so for me, I feel like it really, really helps me as an independent practitioner to be part of the group and to add to it and draw from it as I need to. But it's great just to have people that you can, like, I have lots of friends in my life, but there's only a few people that I can share everything with. And the people that are in the student group that I'm part of, I can share everything with them. to me, that's something that's worth having in life. And, you know, when you work with magic, a lot of it's about finding a way to create ties and cooperation between different energetic forces to create an effect or a result that you're looking for. And just as it can be challenging to work with certain crystals or certain herbs or certain deities, it can be a challenge as well to work with certain people. But just because you have a bad experience with, you know, a couple of groups or a few individuals, it doesn't mean that group work is something that's not going to work for you. And just because you're someone who likes to do things your own way, it doesn't mean that you can't still do that and be part of a group. You can. Gee, Raya's even part of my group that I'm in, aren't you? Yeah, you come to my rituals too, don't you? Mm-hmm. Are you learning a lot? You learning lots of stuff? Are you learning lots of stuff? So yeah, those are my thoughts on group practice and why I think it's a really great idea and why I'm really happy that it's a part of my path. And obviously I don't judge anyone who chooses to work alone. Like, obviously if that's really what you want, then that's what you should be doing. But I have noticed that there's a lot of people who are just nervous, or they might have had a bad experience or two, and yet inside they kind of feel like they're still seeking that fellowship with people and that way of learning from each other. So to those people, I say keep trying, keep looking, because it is worth it when you do find it. Thanks so much for checking out my video, and love and light, everyone.